Evaluating algebraic expressions. So we have talked about this before with integers, and now we just want to do it with algebraic expressions, with fractions. So in example number 1, it says 4 divided by w times z, for w equals 2 over 7 and z equals negative 1 over 5. So anytime we want to evaluate an algebraic expression for particular values, the first thing we do is replace the variables, or the letters, with empty parentheses. So we're going to write 4 divided by, and then a set of empty parentheses for w, times a set of empty parentheses for z. Now, this says we want to evaluate this expression for w equals 2/7. So where w would be, we want to put in 2/7. And z is negative 1 over 5. So where z was, we want to put in negative 1 over 5. At this point, we can just plug this entire expression into our calculator. So what we want to plug in is 4 divided by, parenthesis, 2, fraction button, 7. Then we use our right arrow to get out of the fraction, and then our other parenthesis, times, parenthesis, negative 1, fraction button, 5, and then our right arrow to get out of that fraction, and then our other parenthesis. At this point, you should look at your calculator screen and see 4 divided by, inside parentheses, 2/7, times, inside parentheses, negative 1 over 5. So we hit enter. And our calculator will give us negative 2 and 8/10 with a down arrow, which means we can simplify. So we hit simplify, enter, and it gives us negative 2 and 4/5 with no down arrow. So that's fully simplified. So we get negative 2 and 4/5. And then I always like to hit my clear button after I do a problem so that I don't have any of my old problems in my calculator screen. In example 2, it says 2m minus 3n for m equals negative 3 over 4 and n equals 1 over 6. Now we have to remember this 2m really means 2 times m. So we write 2 and then a set of empty parentheses for our m, minus 3, and then a set of empty parentheses for our n. And we know that that means to multiply. So the m, it says we want to replace that with negative 3 over 4. And the n, we want to replace that with 1 over 6. Now once again, we're just going to type this expression into our calculator. So we hit 2, parenthesis, negative 3, fraction button, 4. And then our right arrow to get out of the parenthesis, or to get out of the fraction, and then our other parenthesis. Minus 3, parenthesis, 1, fraction button, 6, parenthesis. Oops. Now you notice if you did what I just said, the parenthesis will actually be in the denominator. So I can hit my left arrow and then my delete button, and that will get rid of that parenthesis. And now I can hit my right arrow and then close it with a parenthesis. So if we have it in our calculators right now, we've got a 2 and then a set of parentheses with a negative 3 over 4 in it, and then a subtraction sign, and then a 3, and then a set of parentheses with a 1 over 6 in it. It looks just like our expression does on the paper. So we hit enter, and it gives us negative 2.